Hey everyone, I'm David Cohen, co-founder and managing partner at Techstars. I'm thrilled to be welcoming you to Techstars Iowa's inaugural demo day. How cool is that? When we first discussed this opportunity to bring a program to Iowa, I was so excited about the opportunity just to amplify the entrepreneurial efforts to communities in Iowa, as well as to the greater Midwest. You know, over the last decade, maybe longer, we've continued to see more and more companies from the Midwest, not just because of the economic advantage of running a business in rural areas, but due to the access to talent, technology, and customers in the region. You know, Techstars Iowa's accelerator partnership with Grinnell College, the University of Iowa, Iowa State University, it enables us to promote entrepreneurship across the state, starting early on with students, postgrads, alums, and more.
Hello and welcome to Techstars Iowa 2020 Demo Day. I'm Curdy Levy, Managing Director, and I'm joined with TJ Salyers, Program Manager. This is the inaugural year of the Techstars Iowa Accelerator in partnership with Grinnell College, the University of Iowa, and Iowa State University. The 10 companies you'll hear from today represent a diverse set of backgrounds, ideas, and industries, including healthcare, community engagement, education, travel, and more.
And it's my honor and my thrill today to welcome you to Techstars Iowa Demo Day. I'm so excited about this is because it is an opportunity for all of us to gather right now to really see knowledge move into action. We can talk about that, we can theorize about it, we can read about it, but when you really get to meet the people who've done this, who have taken this idea from really something that was exchanged or in their minds and moved it out into the world, that's incredibly exciting. Doing it in partnership with the University of Iowa, with Iowa State, has been especially intriguing and exciting and a learning experience for us. I thank you for your creativity, I thank you for your effectiveness, and I congratulate you for being Techstars Iowa founders.
First, I'd like to thank our amazing mentors who volunteered their time to offer expertise, advice, and connections to their networks. All of the people who are invested in the startup community in Iowa are absolutely coming from the Give First philosophy.
What I loved about this was the sensibility that was brought to it. Really the openness, the enthusiasm, and I would say even the generosity of everybody who participated.
That the maturity of the cohort, you know, was surprising. It's not it wasn't, you know, three kids in a garage. They were seasoned, they were understood, they had some had more traction than others, but their mindset, that clearly thought about this, you know, as opposed to, you know, I had this epiphany in the shower, let's start a business.
The fact that a lot of the startups in this cohort were actually focused on community and giving back. So Civic Champs, for example, is one that stands out. And one anecdote that really warmed my heart as someone who participated in that session was hearing more about how Deets, for example, was able to bring together people as a community during a natural disaster in Iowa. And so to me, those are wonderful examples of ways in which startups can really help bring people together, encourage volunteerism, and overall help make the world a better place.
Navigating how much information to give people to not overwhelm them, because I know each Techstars team has a lot that everyone's telling them to do and a lot to work on.
To our entrepreneurs in residence, Ryan, Kate, and Stephen, we're sad you weren't able to physically be in residence with us, but nonetheless, your contributions, mentorship, and guidance for our founders has been beyond measure. Thank you for being an incredible example of the Techstars Give First philosophy. JT, Lynn, and Judy, thank you for your incredible support, The long-standing commitment from each of you to the Iowa startup community is what makes our program truly unique.
It's hard to believe that we began this journey over a year ago. Grinnell was excited to lead the creation of Techstars Iowa along with our partners at Iowa State University and University of Iowa. We created Techstars Iowa to help the continued development of an entrepreneurial ecosystem, startup community, and a culture of innovation within Iowa and the Midwest more broadly. Congratulations to all the teams on what you have accomplished and the hard work you've put in over the last 13 weeks. The Iowa community is looking forward to watching you enter the next phase of your journey, and we are here to support you in any way that we can.
We at Iowa State have had students participating in projects and on focus groups. We have faculty serving as mentors and a number of alumni entrepreneurs that have been a part of this program. And they absolutely loved Mentor Madness and are happy to be a part of this program. We look forward to continuing our work with Techstars Iowa and our university partners to really help grow the ecosystem of entrepreneurs in the Midwest and really everywhere. Congratulations to the founders of the inaugural class. You're amazing. It's been great to watch you perform through your experience here in Techstars Iowa.
We have been excited to be involved in this program for the last year and very impressed with the progress the teams have made over the last 13 weeks. Specifically, we're very happy that there's another next step option for State of Iowa and specifically University of Iowa teams as a way for them to continue on their entrepreneurial journey.
I'd now like to thank our associates, Hannah K., Hannah M., Will, Connor, Isabel, and Patrick. Thank you for your hard work and dedication. We couldn't have run this program without you, and we cannot wait to see where you excel to next.
Without further ado, I am pleased to introduce you to the 10 companies that make up the inaugural class of Techstars Iowa.
Describe your Techstars experience in one word.
Instrumental.
Exceptional.
Rocket ship.
Lit.
Inspirational.
Energizing.
Iowa. The inertia.
Comprehensive.
Fast.
Would be refinement.
Crazy.
Say invigorating.
Would be intense.
Oh yeah, he came over there and was like, guess what my one word was? And I was like, lit. And he was like, how'd you know? I'm like, everyone knows.
Is that not a friendly word? I can do a different word.
Every single one of these founders is connected to the industry that they're trying to solve a problem in. So they're passionate about it. They've experienced something themselves.
My name is Easton Fitzgibbon, and I'm the co-founder of Deets, the app that shows you what's happening around town right now. There are over 100 million people living in small to mid-sized cities around the country that have no idea what they're missing out on. People in cities of this size often fall into the misconception that their city is boring and nothing is ever going on. A person in one of these cities could download an app for food reviews, but existing platforms like this often show stale, outdated information. They could use a search engine to find food near them, but it's not very actionable if you want to know what's happening right now. That's where Deets comes in. In order to succeed in the hyperlocal space, our customer research shows that the platform must be anonymous, real-time, and have expiring content. Deets has all of this to give you local, relevant, actionable information, whether you're looking for restaurants whose patio is open, where to get curbside pickup, or what events are happening tonight. Deets is a fully anonymous platform that features an interactive map with expiring content to bring both crowdsourced and curated information about restaurants, bars, events, and more to people who had no idea their cities could be so rich and vibrant. When you get on Deets, you can be confident that you know everything happening in your city each day. People tell us if it's not on Deets, it's not happening. In fact, in our hometown of Cedar Rapids alone, our users collectively discover more than 500 pieces of local information each day. On the anonymous chat, the Deets community comes together to share all their local finds and information. Our users say this helps them to feel connected and like a true community. When a user posts on Deets, they're incentivized to share quality content. Each upvote on a post earns them one vibe. that can accumulate these vibes over time and cash them in for local discounts and freebies. Deets brings value to business owners by putting their content out to an audience of people actively looking for things to do. For instance, by putting a deal on the Vibes page, a small pizza place was able to bring in 50 new customers in just 2 weeks, results they have not seen from any other marketing channel. We built Deets to change the way people relate to their cities, and in Cedar Rapids, it's doing just that. We have over 600 weekly active users, and we're growing 13% week over week. We've also partnered with over 150 businesses to bring their content to Deets. Location-based advertising is a $39 billion market, and we've already started addressing it with our $50 a month subscription model. With this revenue model, in Cedar Rapids alone, we project annual revenues of $90,000. And rolling this out to the rest of the country, we can reach $250 million a year, with additional revenues from licensing the app to event organizers, cities, and economic chambers. Our team's experience spans from computer engineering to operations to finance and marketing. With experience at Microsoft and Amazon, our tech team is uniquely suited to solving this problem. As of today, you can only access Deets in Cedar Rapids, but here's something really interesting. When our users travel to different cities, they're eager to open Deets to see what's happening, only to find we haven't expanded to those markets yet. In 2021, that all changes when we expand to cities all around the country. We want to bring you the Deets no matter where you are. If you're interested in being a part of that, we'd love to hear from you.
Memory. A favorite memory would be the Mentor Madness, for sure, because the kind of emotions that we were going through was just like really exciting in terms of like, wow, I don't know I can feel this way, and also like getting a feedback from 60 people in like 2 weeks.
You know, having all this great advice and, you know, just knowing that you can't execute on all of it right away, but I think also having the advice of like put all your ideas in a parking lot and come back to them, and just because you got good advice doesn't mean you have to act on it right now. That was something important.
I'm Rasa Karim, founder of Dakai, the marketplace that connects entire clothing supply chain. There are over 150,000 small to mid-sized clothing brands in the US, sourcing over $140 billion worth of products through wholesalers. They go through, on average, of 6 middlemen, cost increase of 5 times the cost of manufacturers. It creates significant communication challenges, resulting in mistakes and miscodes, and a substantial lack of transparency into these manufacturing practices. I know this industry. I grew up in Bangladesh, which is the second largest clothing exporter in the world, and I have seen these supply chain pain points firsthand. So I created Dakai.com, the first ever completed transparent marketplace connecting small to mid-sized clothing brands directly to manufacturers, enabling them to find the perfect fit with regards to clothing styles, materials used, minimum quantity requirements, sustainability, and social welfare practices. All the while, saving at least 40% of cost of goods. Manufacturers and buyers, they sign up at Dakai.com. Buyers plug in their sourcing needs into the search, such as product group, order quantity, compliance certificate they require from the factories. Right away, they're connected with the most compatible manufacturers. They can take the virtual tours of the facilities, review the sustainability and compliance certificates. They can sign an agreement, initiate their orders, and pay for the service. We charge 6% of transaction for our self-service basic model, up to 9% for our premium value-added model, where buyers can access merchandising, design, inspection, shipping, and logistics services. We started by launching the supplier end of the site in early October. Within our first 8 weeks, we onboarded 300 compliant factories onto our platform. We're on track to onboard 500 additional clothing manufacturers by first quarter of 2021. We launched the buyer side in mid-November and already have 25 buyers using the system. I have already founded and exited 2 tech companies, and now so excited to bring tech innovation to clothing supply chain. Our director of operation, Riley Smith, an award-winning fashion designer, quit building her small brands to better the future of thousands of others. We brought in Koshedali Mondol, who has 22 years of experience in clothing manufacturing, to lead our Bangladeshi operation. Our goal is to be the #1 sourcing platform for thousands of small and mid-sized private label fashion brands, as we are planning to expand our operation in Vietnam, Ethiopia, India, Indonesia, and Cambodia in next few years. We founded Dakai.com with a vision to be the most innovative, scalable, and customer-centric trailblazer that connects the entire clothing supply chain. If you're interested to be part of the future of apparel supply chain, please get in touch.
And what Techstars has helped us, really, I think one thing that I had a discussion with Kurt is like, hey, let's go, right? Let's go. Like, and I feel like the pressure we felt, that was a good pressure that we needed. We needed that extra push that, okay, the product doesn't have to be perfect. We need to bring the product to the market, bring appropriate customer group into the product, get appropriate feedback from them, and iterate and improve from there.
Hi, my name is Seth Killian, and I'm one of the co-founders of Linko. Over 93% of high schools offer a foreign language, yet less than 1% of American adults are proficient in the foreign language that they studied in high school. It's not just high schools. Colleges and universities alike are failing at teaching foreign languages because they're using a one-size-fits-all approach, which is unengaging to the best students and futile for the worst. And teachers don't have the tools to do anything about it. I was one of those students, and I wanted to create a better solution for teachers. So I started Linko, the only all-in-one language platform that allows teachers to tailor language instruction to meet the individual needs of each student. With Linko, language instructors are able to create custom content for each student, focusing on the topics they're interested in, such as fashion, sports, or politics. The instructors can also curate individualized learning paths, offering emphasis in areas the student needs to improve upon, and minimizing instruction in the areas that they've already mastered, providing the quickest and most engaging path to proficiency. Instructors are able to offer this highly customized experience to their entire class through our easy-to-use drag-and-drop style platform, which also manages assignments, grading, and reporting analytics. We sell to schools. To date, instructors across the US are using our product with nearly 3,000 of their students. Our sales cycle has decreased from 1 year to 4 months on average because of word-of-mouth referrals. Textbook publishers have partnered with us for next year to bundle our platform in their curriculums, giving us a presence in over 90% of the top universities in the US. And we've just been selected as the testing platform for the national Spanish, Italian, and French exams, taken by over 200,000 students each year. With these achievements, this puts us on track to achieve an ARR of 1.2 million in 2021. Our initial target is the 12 million students learning a foreign language in US schools, which is a $300 million opportunity per year alone. And we also plan to move into English as a second language, which is expected to grow from 10% of the 52 million students in the US to 25% in 2025. We have a highly nimble technical team with over 30 years of experience in enterprise software, enabling us to create 100% of our product in-house. We also have a director of sales who has over 30 years of experience in education and publishing. We've raised $750,000 to date, and we'll be looking to raise a seed round next spring. If you're as excited about driving the future of education as we are, we'd love to talk. Thank you.
I think one of the coolest things about the whole mentorship is that they really took a personal interest in me as a founder, and they took time out of their busy week just to chat with me and see how are things going. I mean, these are people who are running multi-million-dollar companies, yet they took the time out of their day, to send me a text to say, how are things going? Say, I want to introduce you to this new person. I think that they would be a great fit for, some of the projects that you're working on.
Just how much I could learn from the other co-founders in the cohort that were experts in their own right.
Since the dawn of time, busy professionals have been booking their travel on a website. We've all been there. It's 5:15, your significant other is blowing up your text messages, you're just trying to wrap up for the day, and that's when you notice it. That big prospect meeting on your calendar next week, except you haven't booked your travel. So off to the web you head in a panic to search for flights and hotels. 30 minutes and 300 clicks later, and maybe you're finally calling it a day. You can't afford the luxury of your own executive assistant, but surely there has to be a better way. Well, introducing Tempur, the intelligent travel assistant that allows you to book travel directly from your calendar in just one click. Let's reimagine our scenario, shall we? It's 5:15, but now when that client meeting comes across, Tempur has automatically read your calendar. Like an intuitive assistant, Tempur understands your location and has compared it against where you need to be. If the meeting requires travel, Tempur has proactively pushed you a tailored trip notification for you to review. Behind the scenes, Tempur's machine learning has patterned your travel preferences and habits, so it understands what airlines you prefer, where you want to stay, and it's even taken care of those pesky details like calculating drive times. Love the proposed trip? All you have to do is accept the itinerary in just one click, and voila, trip booked. What used to take you 30 minutes now takes less than 30 seconds. It's like having a well-trained executive assistant right in your pocket, or should I say, right in your calendar. Hi there, I'm Parker, a 12-year business travel industry veteran. Toomey bag? Check. Frequent flyer programs? All of them. Shoes? Staying on, thank you. I used to work for the 7th largest travel company globally, selling other business travel solutions people didn't want to buy. So I decided to co-found our artificially intelligent travel experience with 2 other exceptional individuals. My prior business travel ops guru, Brandon Bokinski, and a spectacular product guy, Zach Payne. Together, we took our industry expertise, taught ourselves how to code, stowed our tray tables, and boarded Tempur. Our destination, the $1.7 trillion global business travel industry. With over $300 billion spent on business travel in the US alone, $30 billion gets spent directly on travel agencies and software tools for the individual professionals who don't have an executive assistant to plan their travel. What gets us excited? Well, to start, we grew a user base of 100 avid travelers in one of the most inhospitable travel environments imaginable. You know, lockdowns and all. But travel is quickly recovering and our unit metrics are sublime. We make our revenue through an affiliate-based model, whereby anytime a user travels, we're earning a % of the trip's gross cost. Our revenue is averaging $100 per trip, and with a cost of customer acquisition under $200, we're seeing customer payback in just 30 days. So, we invite you to join Tempur on our mission to transform the travel booking experience from 30 minutes of sheer agony to less than 30 seconds of pure bliss. Whether you're an avid traveler looking to turbocharge your booking experience, or whether you're an investor looking to make a bet on the easiest way to book travel, we want to speak to you. No, seriously, I want to speak to you. Click the button below and let's get introduced.
That you can look at problems and obstacles that you face as a founder when you're growing. And I think one of the best things about Program was how it really makes you look at those obstacles and those problems differently. What used to look like an impossible solution, an impossible wall to crawl over, hurdle if you will, is actually can be a door. And I think the Program does an exceptional job of taking what seems impossible and framing it in a way that makes it very executable. And that was super helpful for us as a startup.
Hi, I'm Naveen, CEO of Walacard. I started my career in manufacturing, and after a site inspection by OSHA, which resulted in my company paying $120,000 in fines, I was put in charge of the safety department to ensure this didn't happen again. I spent the next 15 years in occupational health and safety, even starting my own safety training company. Over that time, I noticed the fundamental problem was that the entire industry was trying to manage safety training and compliance off of paper or spreadsheets. making it impossible to keep records up to date and compliant, and therefore always running the risk of having costly liability and fines. This led me to create walacard, the first digital verified health and safety platform to streamline compliance for all key stakeholders, training providers, employers, and employees. With walacard, training providers save time by issuing digital certificates and increasing renewal revenue with automated retraining reminders. Employers save time and increase compliance with a single collaborative system, which helps prevent against OSHA fines and insurance breaches. And employees always have their own safety credentials at their fingertips. We've had huge success to date. We have 23 training partners, over 1,500 employers, and over 39,000 records managed. Training providers pay per certificate issued, on average $2,000 per year, and employers pay a SaaS subscription, on average $4,000 per year, and employees can access their records for free. We leverage our training provider channel partners to go to market to onboard customers. walacard is tackling the $6 billion health and safety administration market, initially focusing on 4 key industries. As we continue to rapidly grow our core SaaS solution, our long-term plan is to create a safety training marketplace to increase our share of the $200 billion safety tech market. Our team is seasoned. Mike and I have started and exited multiple businesses and have extensive sales and operations experience. Marcelo and George have over 20 years of technical product development experience working with both early and late-stage startups. walacard is looking for investors and partners to help us grow our safety training marketplace. If you're interested in helping us transform the health and safety industry, we'd love to chat. Thanks.
We actually had a leadership training session with one of our lead mentors who runs $1 billion company. So as we start to think of how we want to evolve as a company, how we want to deal with each other, how do we want to deal with our team?
I'm Utkarsh, the CEO of OWOW, the world's first mobile-focused media file sharing platform. Our product is so desperately needed that we already have over 50,000 users and are growing by 15% week on week. There are over 200 million amateur creators around the world creating content on different platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Most of their time is spent on creating and editing content. Many of these creators typically work with teams and multiple personal devices during the creation process, requiring the rapid transfer of high-quality media files in bulk. The current solutions to share files today simply do not work for these creators. They are either not designed for bulk media sharing or highly inefficient to use over a mobile phone. They reduce media quality through compression, limit the number of files that can be shared, or are restricted to specific platforms only. This adds unnecessary friction and increases the time required to manage content. Introducing OWOW, the easiest way to share media files from mobile phones. OWOW is built for sharing high-quality media files in bulk, supports multiple different transfer modes, and is cross-platform. It reduces the friction of sharing files from a multi-step process to a 2-step process, significantly simplifying transferring files and folders across people and devices. OWOW also supports Wi-Fi sharing, enabling users to send unlimited number of files with high speed across nearby devices, even if they're on different platforms. Over 50,000 users are currently using our product, and we are growing more than 15% week on week. Our users love what we have built, and they're telling us that OWOW is the simplest file sharing app that they have ever used. As we grow, we plan to deploy paid features and targeted ads to monetize this massive and influential audience. Our team has a combined 20 years of product and engineering experience. We have spent over 7 years building software for the cloud industry, worked at different early stage startups, and built multiple products together. The creator market we are serving today is a $20 billion market, growing 30% year on year. The $40 billion cloud file sharing industry we are technically a part of is incumbent and ripe for disruption. While conventional file sharing apps were built for the past, OWOW is designed for the future. Our vision is to build the world's biggest mobile file sharing platform. And if you like what you see, join us.
So far, obviously being part of such a global network and having the support of phenomenal founders and mentors who have seen so many companies come out successfully has really pushed us to our limits, and we know that we are playing with the world's best, and that has helped shape the whole mindset of the team. And then we know that if we get our jobs done right, we are going to get there. So I think the learning, the mindset, as well as the support, all combined into one, has really elevated us to the next level as a startup and as a company.
Hi, I'm Catherine Grill, the CEO of Neoth. Students feel an overwhelming pressure to succeed. The pressure that they feel from school, peers, and social media is so intense that 1 in 4 becomes suicidal. This could be avoided if they had better access to care. But wait times for school counselors are up to 60 days, and counselors can't help students who are out of state due to distance learning. Well, at Neoth, we're on a mission to help students cope with this pressure by increasing access to care. Our technology makes it easy for students to manage stress by providing on-demand, personalized support. Neoth assesses students' health and directs them to behavioral practices that are tailored for their needs. Students engage in these self-guided practices when it's convenient for them, and practices are updated over time based on their progress. The students are completely engaged with their personalized content on Neoth, whether it's their relaxation practices like guided imagery and art therapy, or our video series, where real students talk about their experiences in mental health. The average daily session duration is over 100 minutes. And it's not just students who love Neoth, so do schools. Neoth's data helps counseling centers guide students to the right care, whether it's their therapist or our self-guided program. This helps solve their number one problem of focusing on crisis care while still being able to provide mental health support to the rest of the student body. There are over 70,000 high schools and universities in the US. We generate revenue by selling directly to these schools, who pay an upfront annual price per student. Before founding this company, I was a neuroscientist at a leading pediatric hospital, and Claire was a university professor. We saw firsthand how big of a problem this was, and we knew that by using technology, we could grow from helping hundreds of students to helping millions of students every year. We teamed up with Lucas and Florian, who have 25 years of experience in business and software development. I'm so proud of what we've accomplished during Techstars. We established over 120 Neoth chapters in schools around the country, where our student ambassadors are sharing Neoth with their peers and advocating for this product to accelerate the sales cycle to their schools. We also contracted with 6 organizations that have over 75,000 students and will be rolling out with them in the spring semester. We expect to close more deals by the holidays. Neoth is growing from helping thousands of students to helping the 40 million students who need our support today. Please get in touch if you'd like to join us on our mission.
I think one of the things that was surprising was how important it can be to work with diverse mentors or just people in other industries. I remember for Mentor Madness, we were meeting with a whole bunch of people and we were kind of like, well, why aren't we just meeting with people in mental health or digital mental health? And we actually were meeting with some companies in ag tech and who were growing lettuce and doing all these things that it felt like light years away from what we were doing. But it was, I think, really impactful because we ended up being able to learn about how do we talk about this company, how do we pitch this company to everybody beyond just people in our space. So that.
Hi, I'm John Lensing, CEO and founder of openloop. I grew up in a small, rural Iowa farm town and my father was a physician. I saw patients drive hours just to come see him, and I remember being amazed thinking they were driving to see him because he was such a good doctor. But after I became a physician, I finally realized that they were actually coming because they had no other doctors close to their homes. Because here in the US, close to 500,000 patients are left unseen every year. And this is because we do not have enough clinicians in our country. And over the next 5 years, we'll have a gap of 2.5 million clinicians because we are not graduating enough to keep up with our growing population. And this lack of access to care means a sicker America. So, the healthcare industry has been forced to innovate to meet this new demand. We've built tools like telehealth, and we've coordinated care, but all of these things have only reduced clinician demand by less than 1%. None of these tools work without the clinicians to support them. Around the country, 1/3 of all doctors, nurses, and medical professionals work part-time to fill these gaps in care. But the traditional staffing agencies make finding these opportunities difficult, and they do not create scalable solutions to power these services and tools. Clinicians are looking for new ways to connect with contract work. We know because we service over 5,300 of them nationwide in our openloop app. Our platform matches clinicians with part-time availability directly into open shifts and gaps in coverage at hospitals, clinics, and telehealth platforms. openloop gives healthcare organizations the ability to access a network of part-time clinicians ready to deliver care at the touch of a button. And this gives them a scalable contract workforce ready to grow with their patient demand. We simplify hiring. Our web app has decreased clinician placement times from over 3 months to less than 1 week. And we only enroll top clinicians that meet our strict hiring criteria. Then, our system automates over 500 sheets of pen and paper applications used in the traditional hiring practices. Now fully enrolled, our on-demand clinicians integrate seamlessly with our partner organizations' needs. This market is primed and ready for innovation. Hospitals and clinics represent a $5.2 billion market, while telehealth, a potential $25 billion market annually. We only started 11 months ago, and we're currently powering some of the biggest healthcare companies. openloop is working with 93 different hospitals and clinics and 5 telehealth clients. From October through December, we've experienced a 45% month-over-month growth and expect to achieve profitability within the next 12 months. Our current accounts represent close to 150,000 patients that will be seen next year because of openloop. Lastly, I'd like to highlight my incredible team. My co-founder, Christian, has built 2 other startups and last worked as a director of internal customer success at Anheuser-Busch. For me, openloop is my second startup. It was after seeing the hardships in medicine firsthand from both my father and during my own time in medical school that I quit practicing medicine in order to help more patients. And it's our goal to enable the clinicians, the hospitals, and the telehealth companies of our country to close this care gap. And in doing so, openloop is powering life-saving opportunities. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I need it because they're going to want that right away. They want to know what the position entails, how many hours, what kind of comp it is.
Okay. I was surprised of the diversity of all the other startups in our batch. It's a broad tech accelerator, and we really stretch broad tech. We have everything from healthcare to consumer apps to real-time engagement from people in their communities. It's been really cool to learn from all the other entrepreneurs in our batch and have the cross collaboration even though we're not in a specific vertical together.
Sounds great. Americans donate $426 billion and volunteer almost 7 billion hours every single year. Yet the tools and technology that we use to manage all of this giving is largely the same as it was in the 1950s. 90% of the 400,000 volunteer coordinators across the country still rely on binders and clipboards to track and manage their volunteers, leading to long hours of manual data entry work. And these time-consuming inefficiencies matter, as they reduce the capacity of the nonprofits to provide services to those that are in need. Fewer meals for the hungry, fewer homes for the homeless. Civic Champs solves all of this with our platform by leveraging technology like geofencing to automate volunteer management, decreasing manual clerical work by 85%. And we saw one of the greatest missed opportunities that nonprofits have of converting volunteers to donors. Volunteers are already twice as likely to donate and donate 10 times more than non-volunteers. But the number one reason that they don't is because they're never asked. Civic Champs makes this ask at the right time with the right message. We know through volunteer feedback and user behavior when a volunteer is most inspired and what message resonates with them. Since launching in May 2019, we've grown to reach over $10,000 in monthly recurring revenue, including doubling since COVID-19. Perhaps even more exciting is the fact that 95% of our customers pay us upfront in full for the entire year, giving us a 1-month payback period. And today, we serve over 60 nonprofits, including organizations like United Way, Habitat for Humanity, and Boys and Girls Club. On market size, there's 1.6 million nonprofits in the US. Of these, 436,000 rely on volunteers. Based on the average price that our customers already pay us of $228 per month, this gets us a $1.2 billion addressable market. On the flip side, with 62.8 million volunteers, if we charge just the industry average processing fee of 5%, on the online donation amount of $148, this would generate an additional $465 million in potential annual revenues, for a total of $1.7 billion. From here, we have the opportunity to grow into corporate social responsibility, donor management, and donation processing for a total addressable market of $11 billion. Finally, we have an incredible team. This is my third startup company. My prior two were sold in 2014 and 17 respectively. I'm also joined by Mike, Chris, Charlie, and Michael, who have a deep mix of technical expertise and experience selling to and working in the nonprofit sector. $426 billion, 7 billion hours. These are the numbers that we've talked about. But if you're interested in learning more about how Civic Champs is creating a new number by unlocking over $5 billion of impact, reach out and let's connect.
I think the thing that has really impressed me really is just the quality of all of that programming. I've been in many other situations where you're like, oh, I already know this, and it turns out you do know it, right? And it wasn't that helpful. But in almost every instance, actually in every instance at Techstars, every program has just been put together so well and has been actually super, super helpful.
Hi, I'm Nicole Lowe, founder and CEO of SoulLife. The rise of coaching is now the second fastest growing profession in the world. This $18 billion global industry has more than 25 million people seeking a coach across 30 different disciplines. And the pandemic has only accelerated the awareness and the need for these services. In 5 years, that number is going to be 40 million people. As coaches flood the market to meet this demand, they are desperate to find the right tools to run and manage their businesses. And I know this because I'm experiencing a 99% conversion rate to signups for my solution from every focus group and every product demo I conduct. I ran a successful coaching practice for 8 years. Disparate technologies and inefficient workflows are costly and time-consuming for coaches. So I decided to build Soul Life to solve these problems with the first telecoaching and business automation platform. We are the engine for coaches to run their business by automating scheduling, billing, client management, marketing, business performance, telecommunications, and more. And people looking for a coach will be able to find a wide variety of service providers and use our matching algorithm to get matched to the right one based on current mindset, goals, learning styles, and type of coaching, all on one single platform. We are addressing the supply side first with our business automation platform. We have 35 coach beta testers who are also bringing their clients onto our platform. And over 2,500 coaches are in our pipeline. Plus, we have 2 channel partners giving us access to over 200,000 coaches. Once we secure the supply side, we will then build out the marketplace through outreach programs, through our Soul Life X podcast, channel partners, vertical markets, and white labeling. We have a SaaS pricing model which makes it easy for coaches to test our platform and convert to a paid, monthly, or annual subscription that includes all the functionality. All of this at 1/5 the cost that coaches are currently paying to solve their business needs today. Our team is wired to execute. Over 40 years combined coaching experience, 45 years in sales, marketing, and channel distribution, 30 years in software development, and 3 successful startups. Soul Life will be the engine for every single coach in the world to run their businesses and the destination for millions of people to connect to the right coach. If you want to be part of this enormous business opportunity, we would love to hear from you. Thank you very much.
My favorite memory of the whole program has to be the founder stories. Each and every one, every single week, really was quite impactful to hear how entrepreneurs, just the grit and the fight and getting in there and persevering through all adversity. And hearing those stories was so inspiring for me as a CEO and a founder.
Thanks to our founders. Thanks for making the first class of Techstars Iowa so much fun. We can't wait to see what you go on to do next, and we'll see you all next year.
Congrats, huge congrats on all of your hard work. I know firsthand how intense these 13 weeks can be. So well done on completing them, and we're super excited to watch you on the rest of your journey.
And that's a wrap.
I hope you never forget that you all came up with this and you came into this in a time of incredible disruption and change. And here you are.
Hey, don't leave. Demo day isn't over. We're hosting a program wrap party that's happening literally right now. Follow the link in the description below and you'll be able to connect with each of the 10 companies in their own breakout rooms, as well as our university partners, Curdy, myself, and the broader Techstars Iowa community. We hope to see you there.